And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Talking Business and also the Marketing Club of New York and our series talking to leaders in the world of digital marketing, banking, insurance, customer service, and business education. I'll highlight our team at CBSI. We provide insurance-backed benefits to millions of credit card customers and many institutions around the United States. Now, today we are really glad to have a chance to get back with one of our friends, and that is Ava Seavey, who is the president of Avalanche Creative Services and long tenure in production of direct response television ads. Ava, good to see you. How you doing?
Ken, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Well, good to see you. I guess I got to start with we all watched the Super Bowl last night. I had a friend playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, Cole Christensen, made a couple of plays. But I know as an ad executive, you were watching some of the ads. What was your thought on the ads on the Super Bowl this year?
Well, considering that when I do a commercial, my budgets are very limited and I'm needing to either drive sales or leads in a pretty dramatic fashion that's immediate for my clients. So what really shocked me was with enormous budgets, celebrities, special effects, they have all of this at their command to come up with such a vanilla concepts and very um, sometimes unintelligible commercials where you couldn't even figure out what they were, trying to sell or say or be. I was a little bit disappointed, to say the least. And, you would think that people could develop something that was more communicative to the audience and basically say what they are, even if it's funny. But I think half the commercials the next day people talk about, oh, the one with this. Oh, what was that product? I don't know. So to me, if you don't know what the product is, the commercial's a fail.
Well, Ava, what would you say if one of your clients said they were going to consider buying a spot on the Super Bowl and make the big investment, try to build awareness on a huge television event? What would you advise them to how to look at the decision and how to execute it if they decide to go forward?
I would need to understand what their goal was, what their target was, what their KPIs were. My clients are very much looking at everything under a microscope. They want to see how many sales did they get, how many customers, how many leads, so I'm in the performance marketing space. So my first question would be, what is the action? What do you want the consumer to do? So do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to go somewhere? Are you running a contest? What are you doing? So I would want to know what their outcome was, other than what the majority of the Super Bowl commercials was just like us, laugh, think we're funny. And I don't know how much that really lifts the brand. I thought what Verizon did with Beyonce, with her releasing a couple of singles after the show, was interesting, but I don't know how that benefits Verizon. I see how it benefits Beyonce, but I don't see how that benefits Verizon by her releasing new songs.
Well, hopefully build some awareness and perhaps gets more people to the Verizon website. Hey, one of the ways you describe your work is brand response advertising. And, you come, as I do, from a direct response background, and your agency has worked in direct response television for many years. What do you describe as brand response advertising?
I describe it as having a brand, and you're sensitive to the brand, and you're uh, uh, elevating the quality and the caliber of the brand, and you're highlighting their brand, but you're also asking for an immediate response, whether it's driving a lead, a sale, whether you're driving them to retail, driving to a website, driving to Amazon, having them filling out a form. taking some sort of an action. So having a CTA, a call to action of some sort, in combination with the brand element. That's how I would describe brand response.
Very good. Now, obviously, the world has changed so much in digital in our careers, and mobile has changed everything. Trying to drive people to mobile and be able to generate leads or generate direct sales all from mobile. How did you make the switch to mobile, and how do you run campaigns that have to generate activity on a mobile phone?
Well, when we run, for example, a Facebook or a TikTok campaign, we are seeing that the majority of the traffic is on mobile. So even if we're running a digital campaign, again, whether it's Google, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, we can track and see how many people are viewing from desktop or laptop or mobile, and a huge percentage of the traffic is viewing from mobile. So we need to make sure that whatever landing page they're going to is styled so that it doesn't look funny on mobile, it doesn't become distorted in any way, and that the CTA and the path is very clear.
Very good. Now, you and I spoke during COVID, and I just thought you were so strong, so gritty is the word we use. We use that word in athletics sometimes. How you have to be gritty to get through a tough situation, and you learn a lot about resilience. Well, what do you take away from that very difficult period? I know your business is flourishing now. How did you get through that period during COVID?
Well, it was tough, and it's still a roller coaster ride. You have to have such strong internal mechanisms that, one of my big things is faith over fear. So when you go into a fear place, especially a lot of women tend to really be fearful about their business, about finance, et cetera, and I just have to put faith that things will work out over the fear that they won't. And it's kind of a glass half empty, half full scenario that I have to feel that my glass is half full. Otherwise, it's if I don't believe that, then how are other people not going to believe that? Um, the other thing is I had to get very tough during COVID, and it meant having to risk not being liked. And that's another tough thing, especially for women, is, you have to accept that if you're going to be successful and tough, you might not be liked, so you have to give that up. You have to give the likability element up, and you have to think of what's best for the customer, what's best for the consumer, what's best for everyone else, not necessarily what's best for myself. So if I'm looking to design a program, I'm going to design it with the end user in mind, not myself. I have to take myself out of that equation.
Very good. I know you spoke on this topic of resiliency. You spoke recently at the PDMI, Performance Driven Marketing Association. What were some of your comments in that presentation?
Well, uh, I'm sorry, my cat just wants to be a supporting actor in this. Um, so I think that I was giving a lot of the same elements of what I just said, that you have to believe in yourself, you have to have a lot of faith over fear, and you need to be brave. I mean, it's hard to be brave in business sometimes when you feel, especially when you feel things are not going well. It's hard to really take a risk, take a chance, and put yourself out there. And I think it's really important to step out of the shadow into the light and really risk. I mean, what are you really risking? That you're going to get rejected, that someone's not going to like it, that someone's going to say no? Okay, great. But you have to also be willing to fail many, many, many times. I mean, look at how many times Edison failed at inventing the light bulb, and he still invented the light bulb. So I believe a lot in failing. And in direct response, we fail a lot. We have to fail a lot to learn. And anyone who says they can predict a smooth sale in a performance marketing element is just they can't. No one can predict it. If anyone could predict that, we'd all be a lot wealthier than we are. But I think it's trial and error. It's a lot of experimenting, and it's just riding through the experiments until you get to the elements that actually work. And that's hard now with a fragmented marketplace. It's very difficult.
Very good. Now, Ava, tell us a little bit about some of the services of your company, Avalanche Creative Services.
Right. We provide strategy and creative front end for all media, television, digital. In the day, we did print and outdoor, but we don't do as much of that anymore. Radio, any kind of terrestrial broadcast, and also streaming. So if it's video, it really helps us excel. So when we're doing video ads for Facebook, for example, or YouTube, we're using and we're combining elements of things that I've learned for over 20 years on the TV side. We're combining what has worked, and we're just putting it into a different medium.
Very good. Ava Seavey, great to see you today. Ava is the president of Avalanche Creative Services and calls sometimes known as the Queen Bee is her favorite nickname. And but it's great to chat with you. I was so impressed during COVID the how you were handling that situation and getting your company through that, and now you're flourishing as we're going into what for many is a better, certainly a much better economy than in 2020, 2021. So, you have a final thought for today?
Yes, be brave, be different, stand out, and step out of the dark into the light and take a chance on yourself. It's worth it.
Ava Seavey, that is such good advice. Always good to chat with you. And Ava, as I said, is the president of Avalanche Creative Services located in New York City. Great to chat with you. We'll do it again soon.
Peace out. Thank you.
Very good. And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Talking Business and the Marketing Club of New York. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.